In this first video of the series, Visual Self-Introduction, I want to illustrate why it is actually useful to enhance your application visually and what possibilities you have to do so. If you want to follow some practical how-to instructions right from the start, you may continue with video number 2 and 3. These tutorials show how to promote yourself with the presentation software PowerPoint in order to prepare your application documents and your job interview. Now, most application documents are based on text, so a recruiter is faced with text in a cover letter, in a CV, maybe in a letter of motivation too. There's even more text in letters of recommendation, multiplied with a number of candidates, and finally a recruiter is also exposed to the verbal showers of applicants during job interviews. So now let's have a look at some professional print works for public relation purposes. Labels, flyers, magazines, leaflets. Most types of advertising make an intense use of imagery in order to catch customers. That's because of perceptual reasons. Approximately 80% of all the information we're processing are said to be perceived visually, so seeing is the sense with the highest density of information. And there's no wonder that images draw our attention much more than text-based information. They pass faster through our perceptual system and they're recognized almost immediately. What's more, images have a very positive effect on learning. Text itself is an abstract information. It has to be decoded step by step. That takes time, and most of it gets lost nevertheless. So, why don't we use these effects for an application? Let me show you how to do that. A professional photo should be part of your application, either on a cover sheet or on a CV. And I absolutely recommend high-quality photos by a photographer. Though it has nothing to do with your qualification, it is at least an indicator for your professional appearance. If you want to visualize your qualities, you can create a gallery page that you place right after your CV. The gallery contains a collection of your most representative references, and if you want to know how to do that, check out video number 2 and 3, Visual Self-Introduction in PowerPoint. Another possibility is to share files or images via cloud storage service, such as Google Drive or Microsoft OneDrive. In your application documents, you can place a link to your online resource. If you click on it, the browser opens up and you get access to a specific file or folder. You should know that this storage space can only be accessed through the link you provided. That means you really don't need to publish your files and you can handle the sharing process in a very discreet way. If you want to know how to do that, check out video number 4, Sharing Files for Online Job Applications. Sharing videos works pretty much the same way. That can be especially useful for giving proof of language skills. As you can see, an access link can also be provided via email. In this case, we're directed to a shared video on YouTube. Instead of YouTube, you might use another storage service. Most of them support direct video playback in a browser. Of course, you can make use of link sharing too. That means you don't necessarily need to publish your video, but you can make it accessible for a selected number of persons only. When it comes to job interviews, you've better chances to beat your competitors with illustrative material. A self-introduction should be part of every interview, and you can either present your material via tablet, which is best if it is a stand-alone model so that your hands are free, or you can do it the analog way with a reference portfolio. Again, here are special models that can be positioned towards an audience, so-called desktop flip charts, and I would recommend that if you speak to more than one interviewer. Presentation tools like these are helpful for an applicant on the one hand, because one is reminded on what to say. On the other hand, it's helpful for the audience too, because it's easier to follow what an applicant is talking about. And what's more, you give your audience reason to believe in your skills. You see, there's a problem with everything you write or say. That is, you claim something that is not actually proven. Images provide evidence. They give you more credibility and they make interviewers to keep you in mind. Now, if you want to know how to promote yourself practically, Check out my other videos about visual self-introduction.